Hey, it's the RimWanderer here, looking to go on that new journey. Well, sort of a new journey, more of a journey into the past. My past, more specifically. I remember a game I played in 2005 that was unprecedented in the strategy game world and is one of the reasons why I still love strategy games to this day. And it was even so popular at the time, it formed the game engine for a TV game show made in the UK. Have you guessed what it is yet? That should be a big enough hint. Yes, I'm talking about Rome Total War. So, why was Rome Total War such a groundbreaking hit? I think it comes down to two reasons. The first reason is that Rome Total War was the first cinematic 3D strategy game. Now, it wasn't the first 3D strategy game. There was actually another Roman game called Praetorian that came out the year before, but this was a bird's eye view downwards, and this didn't give the same cinematic feel. You didn't have hundreds of troops on the battlefield, while with Rome Total War, you did. The second reason, and probably the most important reason why Rome Total War is so popular, is because it's one of the most moddable games that's ever existed. I remember when I was 9-10 years old, I could go into the files and unlock all the factions. Yeah, crazy mod, right? But there's some really great mods for it, like Europa Barbarorum, Roma Selectum 2, and even this really crazy mod for World War II. So with such a strong pedigree, a Rome Total War sequel would be great, right? I mean, its expansion sold well, everything was going great for Creative Assembly, so why not just change the graphics and find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Well, we know that didn't happen, but I want to talk about the context as I remember it. In 2013, I was really hopeful for Rome 2. Even though Empire and Napoleon were quite disappointing to me, and unfortunately I never got to play Shogun 2 at the time, I'd heard good things about Shogun 2. And that made me hopeful because, Creative Assembly are going back to the games they know how to make. Therefore, Rome 2 is going to be really good because they made a really good game in Rome Total War, so they know how to make a really good game in Rome 2. And that didn't happen. Yeah. After that, my opinion of Rome 2 when it released is pretty clear. So, why am I doing a re-review of it? Well, I've been watching some YouTube videos lately, and I'm thinking maybe I've been a bit harsh over the years, and maybe it has improved. The last time I played this game was in September of 2013, and I only played for 24 hours. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go back and play it. I'm going to play it as the developers intended, through the prologue and onto the grand campaign. So, let's go, Wanderers! So here's Rome 2. And we're going to be going through the prologue and the grand campaign. Now, why am I going through the prologue? Well, this is the developers' attempt to show how Rome 2 should be played, right? It should be showing how new players how to play Rome 2. Therefore, to get the best view, the developer's view of what this game should be like, we need to play the prologue and then we can play the grand campaign. So the prologue starts off as you expect. It gives you 4 Roman infantry units, I won't call them legionaries, just early Hastati, and you're expected to go off against the Samnites that are invading Rome. However, this game already starts to annoy me. So you've noticed I've spotted the slingers or skirmishers on top of the cliff there, and I'm already preparing to think, okay, I'm walking my troops up to the main fight, I better get ready for them to start firing down on me. And I do. And I start to run them. Then I think to myself, I should go into open formation. Because, you know, I want to avoid taking too many casualties from those skirmishers. And so I go for this, what I think is the open formation button. And just look at it now. It's square, and you see little dots and they all got spacing in between them. I would have thought that means it's open formation, but no, it just means they form square formation, which to me is kind of counterintuitive. If they just wanted to show that they form a square formation, why not just show a square, a solid square? To me that would be more intuitive, but hey, I'm not a game designer. Now, one thing I will say about Rome 2 is that the battle maps are definitely a lot better. They're definitely a lot more natural looking, and yeah, they're easy on the eyes, let's put it that way. Also, look here, we're actually getting some decent fighting going on. I have to say there is some improvement here. I just remember big blobs forming on the battlefield in Rome 2, and this is a lot better. So after that skirmish, I was getting a feel for the game and I was starting to get some ideas together, so I did a little bit of a summary that you'll just hear now. So far after that quick skirmish, my feeling is it's not bad. The battle went fairly well. It wasn't just a mash one unit into another. A lot better than before, I feel. But I have to say the UI is not very clear. I remember before, this button wasn't there before. It was square before, and I'm wondering where does that come from. On top of that, some of the buttons don't look like what they should be. Like guard mode, I see where they're coming from. It's like two guards putting their spear across a gate, but that doesn't give me that feeling. That's not the initial feeling I thought that was. On top of that, testudo, why not just show a row of shields? To me, that it's just making it more like, yeah, is that supposed to be a torch with a sword across it? It seems so weird. Some of the design choices, and then also, why not just have numbers for the units? I mean, I know that's a really old complaint, but why not? A lot of people complained about this. You've had a lot of time to change it. Why not make it numbers? It's such an easy fix, surely. Anyway, I was ordered to go take out the artillery on the other side of the hill, and listening to the advisor's advice of going slowly through the forest, I decided to walk. However, after a bit I got a little bit bored and I just wanted to speed it up a bit, so I told them to run. And that's when I noticed something. Also, I've just noticed is the fact that this button doesn't change whether you're running or not. It's just a solid toggle, and again, why not make that react to when you click it? Why not? It's so easy to do. Yeah, I even got confused there with clicking it because it's not very clear at all. Okay, I'll lay off the UI for now, but actually a positive to say here. Look how this unit is actually managed to flank my line, and I can tell you now, when I remember when this game released, units could not do that. AI units could not do that. They were not capable of the basic pathfinding you see here, and hey, that's an improvement, I've got to say. With the artillery dealt with, it was time to deal with the major objective, saving the city from the Samnites. So it's in this part of the battle where I make quite a few mistakes. I'm shown a river crossing by the advisor, and I'm thinking, oh okay, maybe I can get a sort of a pincer attack and can get them while they're on the bridge, and I'll overwhelm them and they'll start routing and I'll kill loads of them. Doesn't sound like a bad idea, but the problem is I don't really account for the fact that maybe they won't all cross. Maybe a few will just stay on the other side and only two will cross. So I sent one part of my force against a very small force and another very small force against their overwhelming force. Yeah, it wasn't a smart decision. Now, I'm not sure what happens here. I'm not sure if it's because I'm getting shot at or if my units are glitching out, but they get stuck on the bridge and a lot of men die. Yeah, it didn't exactly improve my situation. And this is where I actually get quite worried I might actually lose in the prologue. And I'm like, wow, this game is a lot harder than I remember. And then the AI starts doing some weird tactics. It starts running its units in and out of combat. And it doesn't seem it's like it wants to get charge damage. It just seems to be running them back and forth and making the battles easier for me. If they stayed in the battles or went round to my flank, I'd be effed. But no, they just run in and out, costing themselves men. As you probably all know, spoilers if you don't, the Cav turn up and they save the day. Yay, we win. However, the game doesn't really make clear if we're supposed to be in a losing situation or not. The voice actors do quite a monotone job, so I don't know.
The day is ours.
So in summary, what did I think of that battle? Overall, it was alright. I'm not a big fan of the UI, but I'm not going to keep going on about that. On the other hand, the AI has got better at pathfinding. They are able to flank, even though they don't always make the best decisions. It's an improvement. However, there was one aspect I was quite surprised to see. I don't zoom in often. I sort of a command from afar, and you're going to see throughout this campaign, this prologue campaign, I do that quite often. Now, I think this comes down to one reason, and I think it's because in Rome 2, the units are quite melded into the background, and it's quite hard to see what's going on. So I avert my eyes from it, essentially. While with Rome Total War, the original, all the units are quite brightly lit against the backdrop. Yeah, it's maybe not the most realistic thing. Yeah, we should see the troops getting a bit mucky, but it's just easier on the eyes, and it attracts your eyes because you can see what's going on. With Rome 2, on the other hand, I can't really see what's going on. It's all melding and it's very hard to look at. Anyway, that prologue battle is over now, but it doesn't end there. We've got a prologue campaign to complete as well. Let's go have a look. So here's the campaign map. It's very basic, not that it needs to be any more advanced. It's just a zoomed in version of Italy with the different factions that you can see here. Let's get started.
Be advised, the Samnites raise more armies against us.
Fetch your swords. The Samnites dare to challenge us again. It will be 5 seasons before they reach Roman territory, but we have little defense in place. We must move to protect Capua while we still have time.
Essentially, the goal of the prologue campaign is to take Bovianum, the Samnite capital. Now, the advisor's opening moves are to wait 5 seasons for the Samnites to turn up on the borders of Capua. Not the best advice, but you take the lead.
The Samnites move out multiple armies. May the gods have mercy if they all attack at once.
Wait, wasn't it you that said we have to wait until they arrive? And we're going to wait 5 seasons, which is lots of time for them to all get together and attack at once. I think this is your fault, but whatever, it's your plan. So we do have an ally on this campaign. We have the Laconians, and the Laconians are really helpful. They're finding out army compositions of the Samnites, they're setting up ambushes, and here's their reward.
The Laconians are defeated. Our allies have fallen.
So after losing our allies, it made me sort of wonder what are the tactics here, and I had a bit of a vent about it. Let's have a listen. So I have to say with this tutorial, it doesn't really make that much sense why they tell people to do this, because you don't play a campaign where you just set an army and just wait for the enemy to come to you. Most campaigns you're going for them and you'll be more aggressive, so I don't understand why they're basically teaching you to waste turns and just recruiting constantly. It seems a little bit silly to me, but oh well. Hey, enough worrying about the game design. The Samnites are here. Oh no. I guess we'll have to fight them.
See to it.
So here's the battlefield, and I can see why they make you wait. It's because they want you to have this very easy battle where you start at the top of the hill and they have to walk all the way up. So, of course, I set up accordingly. And then 4 units of cav appear, and of course, the Samnite army is, what, 60% skirmisher, so you know what's going to happen.
The main body of the enemy are advancing, Silanus. Romans ready for duty.
And then the infantry come in and mop up. Game, set, and match.
The Samnites flee. Commander, you are surely fated by the gods. No previous leader.
So again, the battles do just feel a little flat because I feel before Rome Total War, I would enjoy to zoom in and get into the action, but with this game, I don't feel any need to do that. I can't explain why. I just feel the need that I just want it to get it over as quickly as possible. And the fact that troops move very quickly is definitely a design feature that creative wanted to make the battles feel shorter and more compact. But anyway, let's move on to the next battle that takes place immediately after this one. So this one is a siege, and I thought, okay, I'm attacking a small town, so they're going to try and like block me off in the streets and stuff like that. It's going to be really good street fighting, and then they all run out of the town to get slaughtered by my cavalry. Thank you, AI. So yeah, the AI gave me a easy win, but I'm not happy about it. Why did they come out and fight me? Why did they run out of the city? I was expecting I was going to have to fight street to street, but no, they ran out and met me in the field, which I guess you could say, no, it makes literally no tactical sense because in the city I can't use my cavalry that well, so it literally makes no tactical sense why they would do that. So yeah, that's why these battles fall kind of flat, because there's no tactical sense what the AI does. Now, I know it seems like I'm really hating on this game, but I'm not. I'm really trying to find positives. And actually, I do have some positives to say about the prologue campaign and the campaign in general, I guess. As you can see, after the battle, my general is leveled up. That means I can give him new skills, whether to make him a better general or better animal in 3 different ways. That's really cool. I really enjoy that. Also, the town UI is a lot more clearer and easier to understand. Finally, I really like the fact you can get technologies, and I actually say this is the point where I start enjoying the prologue quite a bit. Now, I'm starting to like the tutorial more now that it's given me free range, and of course I'm playing it how most people play it, with being aggressive and stuff like that. And I think that's a really glowing compliment for this game, considering that it glitched just before, because as you can see I got a mission here, and I then went on to try and do the mission. However, my navy just got stuck in the middle of the ocean. Well, I've done that. Alright. What? What?
With proper fighting ships, we can launch an invasion from the sea where we please.
That was weird. So, I don't know what happened there. I think the game had a bit of a oopsie. Anyway, the AI actually starts fighting back, and they play their Uno reverse card and take the town straight back, recapturing it. So I have to return and save their asses again. So I don't know what happens now, but the AI actually grows a brain, and because I'm doing like a 2-pincer attack on this town, they actually stay in the town. And this makes the battle so much more enjoyable when the AI is actually capable of defending itself. I have to say, this has been a lot more of an exciting battle because the AI has actually done stuff that is logical. Yet, in the end, I'm victorious. It doesn't matter how big brain the AI gets, it can't win on odds like these. And unfortunately, it's downhill from here. The game just starts doing weird stuff that just makes me go, I want to get this prologue out of the way so I can get to the grand campaign. So let's go. For example, I attack this town here, and we suddenly appear in the wilderness with no town in sight, basically. Okay. Then the next battle, I attack a town from the ocean, my cavalry spawns on land, and the entire enemy army abandons the town and lets me occupy it. What?
Samnium shall fall.
In the end, however, capturing the town means nothing. It has no impact by the looks of things. But that's even worse, because then what's the point of the town apart from just being there? What is the point? And I guess it's also for an extra defense for the enemy. Why didn't they use them? What the... Oh. It's okay though, it's okay. It's just a prologue. You're not supposed to take the prologue seriously. The grand campaign is going to be so much better, right? Right? Anyway, let's take the Samnite capital to finish this prologue off. God.
For we go to meet the enemy once more.
Now, the less I say about the siege, the better.
The Samnites cower behind their
I got
walls.
this thing that I thought was a battering ram. Turns out it's just a shelter or shield. And I try and use it, and everyone dies and runs away. Great. But it doesn't really matter that much because I've got overwhelming forces against a tiny garrison. We take the walls, and this is pretty much the highlight of that. Yeah, that one comment is the highlight. And so then we just kill the Sam Knight King, and that's it. That's the prologue over. So after that experience, I give my end of prologue campaign summary, and this is literally just after I played that battle, so let's have a listen. That's the prologue over, and I have to say, mixed feelings, very mixed feelings. Like I said, there were some high points that I mentioned before, but overall, I'm not too excited to play the main campaign after that. That last battle was really quite damp as well. It wasn't a great one to end on because I was very confused because I thought I was building a battering ram and it just turned out to be covers. And I don't think that's very clear. The UI really lets down this game. And of course, yes, I can get mods to fix that. But the point is, they've had so long to fix this game and the UI is still letting it down. The battles, yeah, there were some good ones, like I said. There were some where I thought the AI did the smart thing, but there's some that really confused me. That I'd attack a town and we'll be fighting in the open plains. And I'd attack an even smaller village and we'll be fighting the village. And that really confused me because there was no consistency. So yeah, very confused. But I'm going to press on. I'm going to do a campaign now. And yeah, I'll let you know what I think about that when we start doing that as well. And yeah, that's where we are. Next episode, you're going to see me play the campaign. We'll see how that goes. And if it drives me up the wall, well, so be it. See you next time, Wanderers. Oh, I've heard of less reason to kill a man.